So we talk a lot about what brought us into this thing. It's an evergreen topic that never gets old. It's interesting. A lot of it is eerily similar between us. And as I've discussed some of the things that brought me into it when I was on the stream with our friend Tola, some of it I couldn't get into because it would have been too sensitive. But I'm trying to figure out what is the front runner, because there has to be something. There has to be one, for lack of a better term, there has to be one trigger that comes out ahead of the rest and red pills more people than all the rest. So for some people, it has to be like the riots or the coronavirus lockdowns or the LGBT thing, or maybe the media's response to all of these things. That in and of itself could be a massive red pill, especially in the day and age of the internet, because you see what they're telling you, and then you're able to actually verify it on your own, at least for now. Like a few years back, we had some black guy got shot by the cops, and there was all these riots, of course, and I think it was CNN or maybe MSNBC that showed a video of the guy's sister, and they reported it as the victim's sister calling for peace. And then it cuts to her going, "Don't bring the violence and the ignorance here." But then if you look into what she was actually saying, the full clip, she says, "Don't bring the violence and the ignorance here. Go into the suburbs. Burn that shit down." Calling for peace. So stuff like that has to be a massive red pill for a lot of people. But I just wanted to pose my theory. This is just conjecture. I don't have a study to back this up. I don't even know how you would go about studying this, what the methodology would be. But my thought is that the trans issue, in recent years at least, has to be the biggest one, because it's just so absurd. They are asking us to believe something that is truly unbelievable. The trans thing is more unbelievable than, all races are equal and the blank slate, and disparities between us are the result of external pressures and things like that. That's easier to swallow than the idea that, a man who slices his penis in half and sticks it up inside of his body cavity and then has to routinely dilate the hole because his body correctly identifies it as, an open wound and attempts to heal it. To look at that and say, "Yep, that's a woman." It's so absurd. It's so fucking dumb. I think the people outside of the trans community, because obviously, trannies believe this shit, but they're mentally ill people, so we can disregard whatever they say. But the people outside of the trans community, the people that are not trans themselves, who legitimately think that, Bruce Jenner is a woman and always was. That's the other thing. I love hearing that. And she always was a woman. That has to be a very, very rare breed of person. Like that, I just cannot believe that even liberals truly buy into that in their hearts. Obviously, people know what to say when asked about stuff like this, because they know either they want social approval or they know that there are really serious consequences that could come along with it. But there's no way. So that would be my opinion. I think that the trans thing has to come out ahead, at least in recent years, when it comes to red pilling people, at least within their hearts and within their minds. They might not come out with it openly. But like I said, I'm posing the question. I'm interested to know what you guys think about that. What do you think the number one red pilling phenomenon or component of modernity is. What do you think it is? Anyways, that's it for me. I'm going to roll. And as the man once said, you can build your filthy world without me.